Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. Today, as per the request of my viewers, we're going to test out Burberry Goddess, the Eau de Parfum concentration. I did get a little sample of it. Let's see, is it bottle worthy or not? What does the text say? Burberry Goddess is a unique gourmand fragrance led by a confident and powerful, multifaceted trio of vanillas. Enriched with a luminous lavender top note, the scent exudes a rich, layered personality that's instantly memorable. And then we have the same shtick again in French. That's how the bottle looks like. Take a good look, peeps, because we're just going to have a little tiny shticklet. Vegan formula, you don't see that very often. Check that out, y'all. So the perfume is vegan in case you want to drink it. Haha, no, I know. People who are vegan, they also want to wear vegan shoes and stuff. Like I know. But okay, so ingredients, alcohol, perfume, fragrance. So parfum fragrance, yeah. Polypropylene glycol, aqua, okay, water, salicylates, limonene, coumarin, blah 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 blah. Alcohol again, citral alcohol, and then we got some colors there. The red, violet. Okay, interesting. So let's try this vegan concoction, I guess. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to spray a little bit here and a little bit there. Hmm. Yeah, okay. Give it a moment. It bites a little. It's a little bit synthetic. In the opening, so we got vanilla, lavender, ginger, cocoa in the opening. Then we have vanilla caviar in the mid notes, and the base notes, vanilla absolu. Yeah, all of these vanillas that are like kind of the synthetic. I mean, something is chemical about it. They remind me of something, you know? Like a lot of perfumes smell like this. It has a smidge of something from Gaultier. Oh man, they all smell the same at a certain point. There's something very similar. I've smelled a perfume like this one. Which one could it be? Oh, it's the ginger, isn't it? Yeah, it's the ginger. It's the flanker of Classique. It's the Betty Boop Eau Fraiche Classique from a couple of years ago. It's exactly that, but not as cool as Betty Boop Eau Fraiche Classique. This one is very vanilla, right? So it's kind of like Hypnotic Poison's vanilla mixed with the ginger in Gaultier's Classique, Eau Fraiche, Betty Boop. Even the regular Classique has ginger in it, but this is a very specific type of ginger which I'm annoyed by. Let's see how it dries down. Maybe there's going to be a shift. You know what I mean? So the nose behind this one is Amandine Clark Marie. And when was it released? 2023. Okay, so it's just 2 years ago. Aromatic fragrance. Okay, so what does Burberry say here? Fragrance has always been a great love of mine, and I am fascinated with the power that scent can have and the way it can immediately transport you to a specific time and place in your life. Being allowed to become an ambassador for the new Burberry fragrance feels particularly special and personal. So, master perfumer. To me, lionesses represent female unity and strength. They are confident and move move together. Okay. Much like them, we stand on the shoulders of the women who came before us and those who bolster us throughout our own lives. To me, this image is a real source of empowerment. Emma Mackey, Burberry Beauty Ambassador. Cha-la-di-da. You know when they start telling you, oh, God, I can't stand this. This is so cringe. Girl, if you need so many grandiose words to explain a concept, maybe the concept is weak. Burberry unveils the new Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum, a unique aromatic fragrance for women. Perfumes knows no gender, in my opinion. Them pushing forth these gender things is like, why limit yourself? Open up your horizon. You can make more money if you sell to everyone. The launch is supported by a campaign featuring British, French actress, new ambassador for Burberry. Okay, Emma Mackey. Okay, whatever. The campaign represents a story of self-discovery, inspired by the collective strength and power of the pride of lionesses. Embodying the spirit of Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum, Emma channels the strength of the pride, igniting the power within to discover her inner confidence and ascend the peak ahead of her. Echoing Shy Girl in the overlaid vocals, one of me, but I'm not the only one. We are many, burning like the sun. The lionesses represent the collective power of female strength and support, and the fact that together we can all discover our inner. Oh my God. Oh my God. Embodying the spirit of the Burberry Goddess. Okay. A unique gourmand aromatic fragrance led by a powerful trio of distinct vanillas, collected by hand. The beans dry in the sun for 5 to 7 weeks. They are then stored in wooden boxes to mature and develop their sweet signature aroma. Yeah, no, I don't get that much. I mean, I get a smidge of woodsiness in there, but it's the ginger. It's the ginger. It's killing it for me. During the process of creating the perfect vanilla accord, the precious vanilla was wrapped with notes of bright lavender, diva essence from Provence, and earthy notes of cocoa and ginger roots, creating an aromatic balance to each vanilla. For this purpose, so my initial goal for Burberry Goddess was to expand upon the common use of vanilla to deliver a new kind of rich olfactive experience. For this purpose, I used 3 distinct types of vanilla extraction. The first is a vanilla infusion, which provides the brightest woody vanilla possible. Then I used Fear Good, also known as vanilla caviar, for the first time in a fragrance. This innovative new ingredient adds a sweet, rich, and animalic vanilla. Lastly, vanilla absolute is darker and richer, enchanting, enhancing the fragrance with a mysterious milky aspect, said Amandine Clark-Marie, master perfumer. So, she says the olfactive pyramid: top, vanilla infusion and lavender. Heart, vanilla caviar. Base, vanilla absolute. Family, gourmand aromatic. And they also say, marking Burberry's first ever refillable fragrance, the bottle boasts an elegant design. The gabardine-inspired gold label on the outer casing references Burberry's long-standing heritage, whilst the archive-inspired bottle is modernized with a gold medallion. Available in 10, 30, 50, and 100 ml bottles. Also, Burberry Goddess Shower Gel, Body Lotion, and Refill, 150 ml. Hashtag not sponsored, by the way. I wasn't paid to say any of this. I'm just reading their pitch as a brand to us, the consumers, right? I'm waiting for that ginger to kind of dissipate a little. You know what I mean? Because I'm annoyed by the ginger. It's giving me that classique eau fraiche. I've always been annoyed by that ginger in the eau fraiche. It's too sharp. It's too... You know the problem with certain ingredients when they tell you, or with certain accords, when somebody just tells you, like, take it like as a fact, this is ginger. and then you smell it. It smells nothing like ginger because you've tasted ginger. You've tasted fresh cut ginger that you've placed in tea. You've tasted fresh ginger that you might cook with that heats up with sauces and whatever. You've tasted pickled ginger when you eat sushi or other things that you might eat pickled ginger with. You've tasted candied ginger root as well. Like I've tasted ginger in so many different ways, right? The gingers that I've tasted in my life, they also all had a smell. None of them ever smelled of what perfumery tells me is ginger. I've learned it throughout the years. You know what I mean? Just because I've learned to identify when a perfume lists ginger in its accords, I can sniff out the ginger and say like, oh yeah, okay, I can smell the thing that they call ginger. But to me, to my nose, what perfumery calls ginger accord has nothing to do with the actual ginger that I eat sometimes or that I smell while I'm eating sometimes. And it's really annoying to me. And they do this a lot. They do this also with cherries and cherry blossom. I mean, it's kind of an almond accord, but they call it cherry. It doesn't smell like cherry at all, but that's cherry. And if you know this, you're going to notice this also how they mess with you with flavors and aromas when you're like drinking, let's say, a cherry Coke. Or lately, I've also tried cherry flavored Sprite, cherry flavored 7 Up. Like they tell you it's cherry, so you have to just trick your mind into computing whatever flavor you will ingest because they write on the label it's cherry, so now you have to kind of associate that with cherry. But it's not cherry. So when you drink cherry Coke, it tastes like Coke mixed with almonds. Like an aldehydic, almondy vibe. But they say, oh, but that's cherry. I'm like, no, it's not cherry. But you're educating me to believe that that's cherry. But that's not how cherry tastes. That's not how cherry smells. So we are constantly inundated with false associations by all of these brands that make all of these products to eat or to smell, and they tell you, well, that's what it is. That I'm like, it's not. Yes, it is. And at a certain point, you just give up. You're like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, then that's ginger. No, it's not. You know what I mean? They just tell you it is. So, and I love to eat ginger in many different ways, whether it be in tea or, cooking with it or having the pickled ginger for sushi. Love it. So it's not that I'm sitting here telling you I don't like ginger. I do like ginger. I like it a lot. But I don't like what they in the perfume world define as the smell of ginger in perfume. Like to me, that's not ginger, right? So, meh, irritates me. I don't smell any lavender in here. Also, lavender is a very subtle accord. Lavender is not subtle if it's a soliflor, or if you have just add a little bit of vanilla there, it's okay. But this is like vanilla. It buried and suffocated that lavender. There's no lavender in here. And then you have these vanilla ginger meshes, and the vanilla, I can sense out like a slightly darker roasted vanilla that's giving me a woodsy, burnt texture of a smell. Love. I always love a nice, dark, crispy, burnt vanilla. Love it. Again, the ginger is killing it, though. It doesn't allow the vanilla to go into that depth because the ginger keeps elevating it and making it smell acidy. But then again, if I really wanted like a dark, crispy vanilla, I go for Guerlain. I go for the Shalimar flankers, like the limited editions that they do every year. They did a millésime a Guerlain Shalimar Vanilla Millésime. That's like that burnt dark vanilla. Love it. This is more synthetic smelling. I know that in this, what you might call it, I know that in this description of the perfume, they love to state stuff like this vanilla that we used was hand picked, hand plucked somewhere, blah, blah, blah. They want you, just like they're tricking you that the smell of ginger is ginger when it's not really what you're used to smelling. When you smell actual ginger root, ginger also has a blossom. I guess that also has a smell, but I don't know. Maybe this is the blossom of ginger, but no. Anyway, and then they're trying, like when they film those videos in the ateliers of fashion houses trying to make you believe that there's like two grandmas sitting in their white robes, sipping coffee and stitching per hand one of the million bags that you can find everywhere from the brand, and they make you believe that two little ladies are sitting there making them by hand for you. That's the same shtick that they do when they talk about, Sorry, you guys. This is okay. It's the same shtick that they do when they talk to you about this. Oh, hand plucked vanilla pods from the. I'm like, girl, when you have to tell me that in the description of your product, my alarm bells go off already because I don't trust. We've been scammed as consumers nowadays way too many times, right? The corporate world is not on our side. It just isn't. It's all about how they manage to squeeze as much money out of you as possible. So it's very seldomly do I feel like there's an authentic, honest approach between whoever is selling me the product and the product that they're trying to sell, and what they're saying about the product is being truthful and honest. Usually, it's not. Usually, at the end of the day, you end up coming home with whatever product you bought, whether that be a perfume or an electronic device, accessory from a brand or fashion item. You come home and then you realize, oh, okay, there's a flaw here. Okay, this is not really as good as it was represented to me, as it was described. Like there's something, and then something is off usually. And then as a consumer, we get kind of accustomed to this. And then the more time passes and we kind of become numb to it. We're annoyed the first couple of times, but then you give up at a certain point. You're like, okay, yeah, it has a flaw, but whatever. Everything has a flaw. So let's just accept it. Yeah. And we've come to terms to accepting it, And it's easy. You just put vanilla in a perfume. People are going to like it because it's gourmand in a way. It smells safe, warm, fuzzy, and like I get it. I understand why people would like it, but it's like so boring. It's not edgy. It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have a direction. Some people just like to wear safe perfumes that make them feel cozy, that hopefully will give them compliments when they're out and about in the office or going shopping or whatever. Like I get it. That's not me though. I want a perfume to deliver personality, not just a safety net for others in society to want to compliment me. Like, am I living in function of other people's compliments? Am I living in function of validation from other people, or am I strong enough to validate myself? Am I not enough? Well, that's the thing. The brands don't want you to feel like you're enough, because if you feel like you're enough, you're not going to buy anything. They have to the only thing that they validate subconsciously is the void inside of you, and they make you believe that you can fill that void by buying stuff. Okay. By, buying our product is going to make you feel better about yourself. And when it comes to perfumery, there's no better and easier way to trick you into believing you're going to fill that void than if the perfumer delivers a gourmand fragrance with a lot of vanilla, because it makes you feel some type of way. I've smelled better vanillas. It's okay. It's an okay perfume. Smells quite chemical though. For it being all hand-plucked vanillas and blah, 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 you sure do smell synthetic. For something that kind of between the lines tries to tell you, look how natural this thing is. Plus vegan and all, you know. Yeah, if I want to go into this woodsy vanilla quality direction, I would go with Guerlain. They at least have a little bit more knowledge when it comes to pushing a smell and an accord that at least gives you the illusion of being natural and authentic, you know. I'm just reading now who's making Burberry. Coty. Yeah, I mean, what am I even talking about? It's Coty, you guys. So Coty is the distributor. I mean, yeah, that's all we needed to know. Okay, so Coty is making this. I know Coty has been around for a gazillion years, and they also make some perfumes that I do like. I like the current version of Obsession that Coty now makes. I loved Coty's version of Boudoir by Vivienne Westwood, discontinued. But you know, they're very mass produced chemical components that are just bam, 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 you know, make them quickly. So, you know, when Coty tells me that they're hand plucking vanilla, yeah, I'm a little bit like, oh, are you? Sure, okay. I don't know. Coty always gives me the vibes of being extremely massively produced, quickly produced. They have for sure access to a lot of ingredients, a lot of raw materials. They have, you know, they're huge. Coty is huge. But I don't know how refined they are, you know. They're more about make more, make more, make more. I remember the Vivienne Westwood incident when she found out that allegedly, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged, just my opinion. When she was allegedly being, you know, tricked because she made Boudoir, the one perfume that she made, but then behind her back, allegedly behind her back, the brand started working with Coty on releasing other perfumes under the Vivienne Westwood name. Many of them, you know, there's Cheeky Alice, Let It Rock, Anglomania, Boudoir Secret Garden. Oh my gosh, there was just a ton of them, right? And she entered one of her boutiques, saw them on the next to the till, and she sniffed them, hated them, took them, went to her office as a huge scandal. She's like, no, and the company had to stop. You know, they're like, okay, we don't want these. And then Coty said, allegedly, if we don't keep releasing new flankers and new perfumes every year, it's not profitable for us. We can't just keep manufacturing Boudoir alone. And it's about the money. So Vivienne said, well, then no, nothing. And that's why Boudoir was discontinued, allegedly. And also, I would recommend this only on a full stomach because this is so gourmand and the vanilla is so intense that it makes you hungry. So if you're not fully satiated, you know, and if you smell this on an empty stomach, it will make your stomach cramp up. It causes hunger. It makes you hungry. So that's also something to consider, not something to spray on early in the morning. This is something after, this is like a dessert fragrance, you know, spray it on after you've eaten your main course, after you've eaten your dessert, you know, you're full, you're satiated, then spray on the perfume. Because this on an empty stomach, because I sprayed it on now on a relatively empty stomach, although my stomach is never empty because I eat, but my stomach is cramping. It's my stomach is feeling hungry now. It's because of the perfume. It causes that sensation of hunger. But it's okay. It's a safe vanilla. What can I tell you? Very bland, very boring. I wouldn't buy it. Just because I smelled something like this a gazillion times already. And the ginger does dissipate a little bit. And now we're just getting that bland vanilla that does have a little bit of crispy smokiness to it at times, and then at other times. No, it's a soft vanilla. Sure, why not? A smidge of darkness in there. That's the only thing that's really attracting me to this one, is that there's some little bit of darkness in that forest of very light vanilla. There's a smidge of smoke and burnt darkness in there, but just a smidge. And if I'm going for that smoky burnt darkness, vanilla wise, I will go to Guerlain to look for that rather than Coty. You know, because this is giving me an idea of all of that, but the reality of all of that would be with another brand that is more specialized in doing perfumes with a little bit more edge to it. Very generic, you know, mass product for the masses. Probably going to sell great, but doesn't do anything for me in terms of desirability. You know, it doesn't make me want to wear it. I'm like, oh, okay, I acknowledge it, I understand what it is, but it's not for me. And I do like a good vanilla, don't get me wrong. Like I was mentioning Hypnotic Poison earlier with the almond accord, by the way, bitter almonds with vanilla. That one works. This is just okay. Mm, You know, you want to smell like that person that never really has an opinion, flies under the radar. Socially, you're not a pariah. They're not going to kick you out of society. You'll just fly generically under the radar your whole life. But you think you're a goddess. Sure. That's exact. You see, the more they put these like huge names in the titles of their perfumes, you know, the more they go for these extremisms, superlatives, and the more you know there's a catch. Because if you need to use such superlatives to describe something, why don't you let it speak for itself? You're scared it's not going to be strong enough on its own, so you got to add all of these adjectives, nouns, superlatives. Hmm. You know, it's like saying, oh, yeah, I'm a lamb. You look like a lamb, you taste like a lamb, but you call yourself a wolf? Hmm. You can, yeah, you can only trick somebody so often, you know. Trick me once, shame on you. Trick me twice, shame on me. Let me know your thoughts down below. I know this is a beloved one by many, so you're going to be like, what the heck, Dacob? I love this perfume. How dare you? Hey, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Love you loads. Subscribe. Never give up on love. Thumb up the video. Bye.